I am so stoked for HebrewFest 2025. It is going to be amazing. My name is Jake Grant, and I am part of the HebrewFest team. I am so stoked. It is coming up quick and fast. Make sure you guys are going to get your tickets. Go to HebrewFest.net. And for today, we have an artist spotlight for you guys. And first, let me just introduce my co-host for this little interview, Mitch from Crush the Head. What's up, Mitch?
How's it going, guys?
Are you stoked for HebrewFest?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so you've been there every year. Every year it's gotten better and better. What are your expectations for this year?
I just know it's going to be a good time. And so I'm always surprised because there's just more bands, more artists show up year by year. Obviously, this is the third year, but I've got to meet a lot of different artists and hear a lot of different music. And so it's fun every year.
Yes, and this year will be no different. And so today, guys, we have a very special interview with one of our featured artists, Jay Zadik. Welcome, Jay Zadik, to the stage. What's up, man?
What's going on, guys? Good to see you guys. Good to see you guys. Y'all doing good?
Yes, we are.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, man. No, this is cool. It was a cool opportunity to do this with you guys. I'm definitely looking forward to HebrewFest. Been looking forward to it since the last one ended. I also have been to all two of them now. Going to be three of them. And the first time I performed, I was just Jacob. That was my artist name. Had to change that because there was a secular artist with the same name. And I didn't want the confusion. And it's funny because I had this thought in my head, somebody's going to look that up on accident and come up with this other dude's stuff at HebrewFest 2024. Somebody told me that did happen. They were like, I looked up just Jacob and I saw this other guy. I was like, yeah, that's what I was thinking. So looked it up. There was no Jay Zadik. There is now. Of course, Zadik is, the Hebrew word for righteous. And that's what we're all trying to be out here, right? Trying to follow the Messiah and be righteous. So yeah, looking forward to HebrewFest 2025, man. Crazy, crazy lineup. I actually have two sets that I'm going to be performing. So I'm going to be performing 2 times on Friday. It was kind of a last minute thing. I offered if Lyndon needed some extra spots filled or anything, that I would do it. He took me up on it. And here we are. So I'm going to be performing Friday early in the day with Sincere for Yah. Super, super dope brother. Michael Sincere is a great guy. And then later in the day, going to be with Bobby Thorns, J.O. Pariah, and Speedy the Artist. And that's going to be a crazy set. I mean, the first one is too, but that's a lot of energy coming at you. So that's going to be a good one, man.
I'm so excited. Every year, your guys' performances have been high energy. For people who haven't seen your performance, what type of music have you been performing at HebrewFest each year?
Yeah, I mean, I do hip hop. I do rap. I do hip hop. I have recently delved into, I got a couple songs that are more almost rock and roll, you could say. I actually have a song with Courtney from Simply Prodigal there. She's done a bunch of stuff with you guys, Courtney Smith. And it's actually like a metal hip hop fusion song. It's not out yet, but it's kind of crazy. I'm just kind of waiting for the right time to release that. But so I'm kind of doing a lot of stuff, but primarily hip hop, and that is what I have performed at HebrewFest both years.
I know his promise is honest. They got in my soul. Gotta make sure I stay ready. Times are evil and it's getting heavy. Could be popping off any day, maybe, but we just concerned with keeping pace steady. So what is it really like? What is a milli? I'm thinking forever. I'm thinking that's better. He got me on Eagles wing. Shout out to Philly. No need for Hail Mary. I chuck it in sender. On the Father till he tell me that it's time to go.
We've got a lot of that coming at you guys this year as well. And I have like 6 new songs that are unreleased that I'm going to be performing as well at HebrewFest.
That's what I was going to ask you, if you had any new music that you were going to introduce to the audience. So
I do. I have one that I did last year. It's a song called Parachute. Still haven't released it because I just haven't found the right time or project to put it on. But because I have about 5 new songs that nobody's heard, I'm going to be putting out an EP the weekend of HebrewFest, just to kind of, I'm going to perform the songs and then say, by the way, go listen to them. They're going to be out on all platforms as the rest of my stuff is. So yeah, it's going to be good.
That's awesome. So, being in the music scene, I wanted to ask you this. Why is it so important to come out to an event like HebrewFest and get around people? Like, what kind of events do you know of like HebrewFest, and what are your expectations for this year?
I don't know. I don't know any event like HebrewFest, for real. And I'm not just saying that. I mean, I've never been to an event. I remember, and I'll tell this quick story, but I remember when Adam sent out his first rules or regulations or guidelines for the first HebrewFest. And I remember it said something about theological disagreements are going to be you guys could talk about stuff, campfire discussions, but we don't want any contentions. This is supposed to be for worship. And I remember, I'll be honest, I thought to myself, yeah, right. That's going to last about 5 minutes and somebody's going to break out some Bibles and it's going to get rowdy. You know what I mean? All these different ideas coming together. I thought, no way is that going to be the case. But hey, the whole time, and there's not like there's people there that didn't disagree on certain things, but it really is something about HebrewFest every year that I've been. It's just a super special atmosphere, man, where the worship really is the primary focus and the fellowship really is the primary focus. I've met some really good brothers. Like I met Jay Zadik at HebrewFest 23, and me and him talk every single day now. We are super, super close now. And I've met Bobby Thorns there, and I met Sincere for Yon. I met you guys at previous HebrewFest as well. And some of the connections that I've made as an artist, it's super important to make those connections because of features you guys can do, work you guys can do together, just visions you can share, motivation that you get from the other artists that are there, because another artist might have new music or great songs or something that just motivates you. And then you go and you push harder. You see them posting, you post. This is not a competition to make ourselves bigger, but if we really do believe this music is for God, then we really ought to put in the work towards it and do it. And I know we all are. And it's good to have that motivation around you, because this world does stifle the message that gives life. And so we're not going to be pushed in the algorithms as much as the other artists, but it's important to have each other to help each other do that and to motivate each other to push, And so many reasons I could mention, but those are just a few why this event is so important, why it's such a good time. And even if you're just a fan, I left HebrewFest not even as an artist, but just as a fan of some of the other bands and as just a believer, just so filled and so just satisfied from the time. And it carried into the next week, and I couldn't wait for the next one. Can't wait for the next one. So it's great.
Oh yeah. Let's talk a little bit about the Hebrew variety that is going to be represented at HebrewFest. Titled Praise and Worship Festival, but that comes in all shapes and forms and sounds and frequencies. What are your thoughts on just the dynamic of the roster?
Yeah, oh man, it never ceases to amaze me. If it's not your flavor, if hip hop is not your flavor, don't worry, it's not nearly the only thing there. If classical worship music is your flavor, you have Left and Right, Simply Prodigal. You got some guys like you guys that do some stuff that's more rock and roll, or there's just Bailey Family Ministries. I don't even know what to call their sound. It is something unique all in and of itself. It's something crazy. I've never seen nothing like that. You got Hezekiah is going to be there. You got the Hebrew Israelite side of things, the so-called Hebrew Israelite side of things. You got, there's so many different types of flavors that are there, and it's really, it's cool to see. It's really cool to see, and like I said, it helps give inspiration and motivation. And yeah, there's no shortage of genres, if you will, for sure.
Awesome.
So real quick, how did you get into music? What started your ministry?
So I made secular hip hop for a long time back in my pre-Christ days, right, when I was doing all the things I shouldn't have been doing. And it was a way that I could go and hang out with the people that had the like-minded, desires. And I was coming to a place in my life where I had a man that I've done music with now, that I have a song with now, a couple songs with now. He's a believer now too. He wasn't then, but he had started going to a church, and he invited me to his men's breakfast. And to keep this as family friendly as possible, we used to, smoke things together and things like that. And I was like, bro, you go to church? What are you talking about? And it just struck me. And then we started hanging out, talking about the Bible a little bit, but we'd still do those things. And then he was like, yo, listen to this Christian hip hop that I found. And I was like, Christian hip hop? What is that? Because I didn't really like to hear pastors preach at the time, but I love music. And so I heard of God Over Money and Bizzle and Hog Mob, and those are some guys that do Christian hip hop ministry. And I really liked their music. And I was like, yeah, this is just good music. That's all it was to me at first. Good music, dope beats. It was great. But then I started to listen to the message, started to convict me, right, over certain sinful things I was doing in my life. And I was like, man, this is crazy. And so then that's how it started for me in the ministry aspect of it, because they got through to me in a way that nobody in a suit and a tie ever could. And that's not to down the guys in the suit and the tie. Everybody's got their place in ministry and life and everything else. But it's just, they got to me in a way that nobody else could in the state that I was in. And so I hope to do that for somebody else. I gave up making music, writing music for about 2 years of my sobriety. God helped me get free of a pretty serious, like, drug addicted lifestyle in an instant. And I got sober and I never looked back. But in that 2 years, the first 2 years of really getting to know him and diving super deep in the word and everything like that, I didn't write a single thing. And I told him I never would again because of all the harm I had done with my music in the past, if that's what he wanted. But then about 2 years into it, I found some beat package on Anno Domini Beats, and I bought it, and I started writing again, and all of a sudden the writer's block was gone, and it just flowed out. I did a whole project under the Just Jacob name, and then it was from that point on that I decided, yeah, this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to keep writing music for God now because He's allowing me to do it. I told Him I wouldn't do it if He didn't want me to, but He gave it to me, and here I am. So I just hope to even just get to one person that was in the place that I was in, and to edify my brothers that are already in the faith, right? Both, So it's a passion of mine for sure.
Come on, man. One other question I had for you. Or actually another question, just do you have anything that you would like to say to, any words of encouragement you have for the believers out there that I might be interested in coming to HebrewFest, or don't have any clue or any idea about it?
Yeah, I would say, and this might sound off topic, but I don't think it is. I would say that the spirit of fear that is in the world in such a heavy dose right now is not something that God wants us to be stuck in. And so I know that for myself, even when I got invited to the first HebrewFest, I was a little leery of going. I'm like, I don't even know these people. They don't even know me. I know how believers can be sometimes. Like, I didn't, but I can just assure everyone who wants to go, thinking about going, is a little leery of it. Like, this is something where I have never had a bad experience here, and I don't think anyone else has either. This is a wonderful group of people. The spirit of fear, like I said, that is such in high doses right now in the world, can really be overcome with the weapon of worship. And Lyndon and you guys have talked about that before, but it is real, man. It is really real. You can go there with something just heavy on you from life, worry about finances or war in the world or whatever else, and you'll just leave there just filled and just ready to go live a fear-free life. Because I'm not saying there aren't things that are legitimately causing some people fear, but as believers in Christ and God, the rock, the salvation, the strong tower, right, that He is, we're not supposed to live life in fear. And one of the ways we can conquer that fear is through this worship and this music. So yeah, that's what I would say. I would just encourage everybody to not be afraid.
Right on.
Awesome. Well, you guys heard it here first. Some highlights of Jay Zadik going to show up at HebrewFest 2025. So make sure to go to HebrewFest.net to get your tickets today. You really want to grab some. You can make it out. It's coming up quick, guys. Very quick indeed. So let me say here, you got to say it like 3 times. So I'm just trying to think of creative ways to do it. Go to HebrewFest.net. HebrewFest.net. Check it out, guys. Any other final thoughts, y'all, before we peel off here?
No. I just want to tell you that your music is pretty good, man. For real, you've got a lot of. I can't think of the title for some reason. One of your most recent one where you kind of play the flesh against the spirit, right? It's flesh versus spirit. Yeah, and that's very, very genius writing there, my friend. So I really appreciate that.
I know what I want, and I get it. I just gotta go and hit them with a little temptation.
Thank you. Hey, praise. Yeah, I do appreciate that. It was that song is funny. That came out like a week before the last HebrewFest. I wasn't going to do it because it was a brand new idea. And then my wife encouraged me. She was like, you got to do this song. And so I real quick recorded it, mixed it, mastered it like the week of, like 2 days before. And she was like, it's ready. I'm telling you, it's ready. And it was one people have definitely given me the, encouragement on it. So I'm glad I did it. Yeah. Appreciate it, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm super stoked for the live set, and just like you said, that night is going to be high energy with all you guys back up on stage together. So I'm definitely going to be there. So you guys should watching this. You guys should be there too. So we're just saying it over and over. Don't miss out your opportunity to go to HebrewFest 2025.
And
Sweet.
I'll say,
all right, Jay.
Jake doesn't have to go to HebrewFest.net and get your tickets.
All right.
Hey, Dan, thanks again for taking the time to meet with us. So
yeah, no, thanks for having me, guys. Yeah, it's been good.
Awesome. All right, thank you guys. We'll catch you all at HebrewFest 2025.
All right.